everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Triple Clowns. It's our weekly show where we're going to recap some horse races and also go over some news and talk this week about, we put out something about there about a commissioner, and we had some responses, and we'll go over those. So it's me, G. Randall Johnson, alongside the beautiful Sarah Marie, Mrs. Big News and the Truck Stop Burrito, AJ Ryder. Let's go.
Wait, hold on. Why wasn't this a very special episode? They're usually all special
because I think people understand.
Today,
are we super echoey in this room? I feel like we are.
Yes, very.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, we got to do something with that. We just moved, so yeah, we got to totally
apologize for the audio this week.
Yes, but we will work on that. It's always a special episode. I think they realize that by now.
So you're not going to include it anymore?
I just understood.
Knows.
Understood by this point.
All right.
Yeah, 4th of July weekend. So that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. Hope you guys saw some fireworks, had some luck. There was a lot of racing, a lot of stakes racing, big days at a lot of tracks across the nation.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
All right, let's start off with some news. There's not a whole lot in the news going on right now, but Monmouth is increasing their purses as well as adding Fridays to their September calendar. So a lot of changes going on with Monmouth. The purses start increasing on July 16th. There's several substantial increases that are going on. The now stakes are increasing from $150,000 to $500,000. Maiden special weights will increase 20%. Claiming races will increase 10%. Non-state bred stakes will increase from $70,000 to $100,000. Jersey bred stakes will increase from $75,000 to $85,000. The sapling stakes as well as the sorority stakes are both increasing to a $200,000 purse. The Monmouth Oaks will increase to a $300,000 purse, and the Island Stakes will increase to a $250,000 purse. We have a lot of purse increases, and like I said, starting in September, they're adding Fridays to their calendars.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if that's because of last year. I think the purses were down everywhere, so now it's just like the same amount of money in 2 years. And Monmouth better do something to get horses there.
Well, it's weird that you think they'd be even able to offer that, because I mean, I don't know what their handles are right now, but with the whip thing and the lack of probably, the jockeys that want to go there, you would think they wouldn't be.
Well, I think that's why they're doing it, to attract
more people. Well, I get all right. So I get that maybe the jockeys and the horses, but still, like, why the shit would you want to go there if you don't have the whip? And no insurance.
Yeah, the no insurance thing is just,
that's a big killer. That's I still
the no whip thing,
by that one.
But I mean,
think of all the money you'd save by keeping the purses the same and just saying, hey, let's use the whip again.
I don't know how progressively, if you own a horse, how it's a good move to be like, this isn't a progressive move to go to a place where you can't use a whip. Because once Monmouth is done, like, oh, my horse is great without a whip. Maybe next year we'll go back in Monmouth. I mean, I don't understand how that can help, because Monmouth doesn't run year round. It's not like your horse is going to be a Monmouth horse. It's not like there's another track that doesn't use a whip. You know what I mean? I don't know how this is a progressive move. I think they thought it was going to catch on, but
it's not.
Guess what?
It's not catching on very well.
It seems like an effort to, kind of like, well, we don't want to add the whip rule back because that would make us look like assholes. So let's just up the purse prices.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what next year. I mean, I personally, I think that this has got to be a one and done. It's got to be. It hasn't been a benefit. It didn't catch on. It's not going to catch on. It's hurt them more than helped them. I believe there's nobody out. I haven't heard anybody out there being like, good for Monmouth. I only watch Monmouth because they have a no whip rule. I've only heard negative, so how can that help? Not like, oh, Churchill's going to do it now. Monmouth is so
progressive,
no
so woke.
That's the problem with anybody that calls themselves progressive when they're regressive. It's pretty much our country in general. I'm so progressive. Let's make it like it was 400 years ago, but I'm progressive. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, but they have to do that. But I know Saratoga's doing the same thing. I don't think this is a big deal. I think everybody's doing it around the country.
Yeah,
Purses increase at
a lot of
Saratoga
purses are going to
too.
be increasing.
Yeah, let's see. Good luck, Monmouth. And I think they're doing that betting. They're going to do those locked odds coming
Locked
up.
odds,
They're
yep,
just
that's starting up soon at Monmouth.
all over
So
the map.
they're trying. They're trying to be woke, and I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
No benefit from fixed odds for the track. There's no benefit. You guaranteed money
like,
if you don't have
like
fixed odds.
kudos for like trying different things, I guess.
Absolutely.
But try not stupid things.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb.
Like,
It's like,
So that's what we're saying.
it's like,
Let's-
no, I'm trying to increase my palate. I'm eating new things. I just ate a pile of dog shit. Fantastic. Like, wow, no, that's not classic. It's not.
Oh goodness.
'Cause I did
That's-
it's not the worst analogy I've ever heard either.
No.
Not the worst. Gross. Maybe one of the grossest. But
Yeah, gross as hell, but not wrong.
No, it's pretty much that.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
anyway, all right. So Monmouth, let's move on. Monmouth is doing their thing, and we'd like to know in your comments what you think about Monmouth and what they're doing. Is anybody okay with it? Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong. I've been wrong once. Once I said I was going to hit 3 home runs. I hit
Once?
4. So it's
You've
happened.
only been wrong once.
Yeah.
That's all you're going to admit to.
Mhm.
Okay. Bless your heart.
Let's move ahead.
Let's recap some races. This weekend we had a big weekend of races, a lot of graded stakes. Like I said earlier, across the nation. We'll start off with Monmouth. Speaking of Monmouth, we did our pick show for the late pick 4 at Monmouth. So we'll start recapping those races, and then we'll get into some win and you're in races. So race 7 at Monmouth, we had Pointer, followed by My Point Exactly and Knight's Key.
And Knightsky on the outside, a length and a half back third. Center of the track, Tavano is finishing with a bit of interest. Heading to the 16th pole. Pointer trying to finish the job. Still leads by a length and a half. My Point Exactly and Knightsky are chasing, but they're not catching Pointer, who takes them all the way.
Seemed like a lot of the races at Monmouth were once the horse got the lead, stay.
Well, AJ and
Stay in
I
the lead.
talked about that.
Yeah.
And listen, anybody out there betting Monmouth, if you listen to our show, we did talk about that. I'm not trying to take whatever, even though I got beat on one of my singles at the last leg of the pick 4 that I gave out by a nose by a 24-1 shot. So that sucked on a $5 ticket. But we said this, I talked about it with AJ on our show. If you're going to bet Monmouth, like early speed, nobody's passing anybody without a whip. And that was our thing we came to. Pointer was a horse that AJ talked about. And I said, if it went to main track only, I was going to use that horse as well. And that was just because of later on in the sequence. But early speed, I mean, horses aren't passing each other. I mean, it was a 35% clip. I know in sprints, I don't think this was a sprint, but early speed, who's passing when you're not getting hit, when it's a duel in the stretch, when they're not whipping the horse, and that's holding up. So if you want to bet Monmouth, bet the early speed, and it comes out later when we'll go over again. Same thing with this horse. Going to go to the front, not going to look back, because who's going to pass a horse when he's not getting urged?
Yep, exactly. Let's talk about race 8. Same thing happened. Working out, took the lead, kept the lead, followed by Lucky Brody and Jerry's Turn.
Trying to take them all the way. He's got a 4-length lead. Center of the racetrack, Lucky Brody and Jerry's Turner battling for second. Then it's Our Lucky Man, a 16th to go. Working out, still well clear, and it's working out another for Paco Lopez. Working out, reports home 4 lengths to the good of Lucky Brody. Third went to Jerry's Turn.
Yeah, on that one, I think I put 7-9. I was like the 7, or whatever, the 9, one of the two. Same thing.
Yep.
Same thing.
And race 9, we had Honey I'm Good, followed by Bareness and Bronx Beauty.
Lead. Bayerness trying her best to close the gap, and then Bronx Beauty in third. A 16th to go. Honey I'm Good holding firm. Bayerness a length behind, running out of time. Honey I'm Good wins the regret.
AJ and I both went with this 4. I singled him. This 4, and we said the same thing. Go against the 3 to 5 shot, which we did. Just going to be too far back without a whip to catch the horse. And that's exactly what it was. So once again, I will reiterate, if you're playing Monmouth, just go on Time Form US and look who they have for early speed and bet that horse. You're going to win 8 out of 10 times. Like, it's pretty incredible. I mean,
Or at least 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're hitting at 75% is better than anything.
Yep. And the final race of the day for Saturday's card at Monmouth was race 10, where Mojack Cat won an incredible duel with As Seen on TV and Gone a Stray Kiss.
Turns for home. Mojack Cat on the outside and at the rail as seen on TV. Mojack Cat ahead in front. 6 lengths back to Gone a Stray Kiss in third. As seen on TV or Mojack Cat. Mojack Cat is just in front, close to home. And Mojack Cat wins it 3/4 of a length. As seen on TV second. Photo for third between Gone a Stray Kiss and Tauber.
And you know how I was cursing the fact of no whip, the horse would have won as seen on TV. In my mind, totally, I'm angry about that. But yeah, so that was my other single as seen on TV.
That was a
Didn't
tough
win.
one.
It was $700 pick 4, and I spent $5 on it. I think I went 5 by 2 by single.
I think mine was like 12.
Yeah.
After
And
after all the
I
scratches
lost
and
on my
everything.
last single. And
Dang
once again, though, hey, just play the early speed, guys. At Monmouth, make a fucking fortune. Get these fixed odds too when it comes out.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You get these
Exactly.
horses at a better price because
Yep.
everybody's going to be doing this. And yeah, so
Mama's
there's
just
your
gonna go
angle.
bankrupt.
Yeah. Well, they could. That's the thing. If there's a 10-1 shot that's early speed, like Pointer, who went down, if you got him at his morning line, he was like 10-1.
He was 8-1.
Was he 8-1?
I
Okay.
think he
And
was
he went
8.
down to and he went off at like 4 or 5, right? I think something like that.
It wasn't a crazy drop. Like
No,
I still got a pretty good price on him.
But a horse that you like there, you bet, $10,000 if you're rolling like that, you just screwed Monmouth out of money
Yeah.
because they don't move the line.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, let's move on. We had 3 win in your in races on the Breeders' Cup Series. So we'll start down in Gulfstream, where they had the Grade 2 Princess Rooney Sprint, where we had Cece win and guarantee her spot in the filly and mare sprint, followed by Estío, Talentoso, and Sound Machine.
Has the monument on the 3 wide side, and she's up to take the lead. Estío Talentoso flattening out. 1/8 of a mile to go. Cece clear and moving away. On the outside, Estío Talentoso tries to get up for second from Sound Machine and Pacific Gale, but it's on to Del Mar for Cece. She wins the Princess Rooney.
Yeah, we have a lot of talk about CC. That's one that's gonna, maybe
I like
go
CC.
after Gamine
Yeah.
running at Los Alamitos this weekend. Way to go, guys.
Today.
Today, yep.
Oh, it's today. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Mhm.
today we're filming Monday, so definitely by the time you listen to this, Gamine already ran. But yeah, staying with those fillies and mares. Good for you, Gamine. Don't jump in the big boy pool.
The fuck? Why would you at this point?
Well, yeah, you'd think she might have been aiming for the Bing Crosby, but apparently not because it's in a couple weeks. So maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do with her. So Cece is now has a guaranteed spot in the filly and mare sprint, and we'll move up to Belmont. Or I'm going to start off with Sunday's win in your end race because I know Saturday's win in your end. AJ has a lot to say. So let's start off. Sunday was the John A. Nayrud Stakes. This is a win in your end for the sprint, where Mind Control won, followed by Frenzy Fire and 3 Technique. And it was quite the battle between Mind Control and Frenzy Fire in the whole race. They just dueled at the front, and Mind Control took the lead right at the wire.
They come off the turn and into the stretch, and it is Mind Control and Firenze Fire. They're still together with 1/8 of a mile to the finish. Firenze Fire at the rail, Mind Control on the outside. Now a 16th to the finish. Mind Control, Firenze Fire. They've been battling the whole way, and it's going to be Mind Control narrowly in the John A. Nayrud.
But Frenzy Fire, how old is Frenzy Fire now? It's gonna be like 12 and a half at this point. I feel like that
Been
horse has
around
been around
for a while.
forever.
Yeah.
I want to say it's only like 7.
Only.
Well,
He's an old man. He's doing all right.
I was gonna say 7 or 8. Yeah.
Yeah.
6.
Oh, really?
That'd be
Wow,
sick.
younger. Oh, yeah, because I've probably been running since he was 2. So
Yeah.
yes, that's a long time. But no, well, there you go. It's gonna be
There you
a
go.
stacked field for the sprint.
Yep, Mind Control now is guaranteed in for the sprint. But let's go to Saturday's win in your in for the classic, the Grade 2 Suburban, AJ has a lot to say about this. When Max Player won that race, followed by Mystic Guide and Happy Saver, and I feel like Max Player surprised most everybody.
Max Player is all out in third. Happy Saver asked for more in fourth as they pass the 3/16 pole. And it is Mystic Guide. And here's Max Player down a challenge on the outside. Happy Saver and Moretti. They're moving for the 16th pole. It is Max Player on the outside of Mystic Guide. Max Player trying to pull off the upset in the Grade 2 Suburban. They come for the finish. It's going to be tight. It is Max Player to do it.
What a fucking joke.
Well, it's
What a fucking joke.
But I mean,
That was the sloppiest track you'll ever fucking see.
well, no, but
Against
in reality, you have to think.
Max Player, I don't care what Breeders' Cup race that fucker goes into. I would never in a million years place a single dollar on it.
Well, that's a win and you're in the classic.
That
right?
is, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
But Max Player, let me tell you. I mean, when you really think about it, here's the deal. Max Player was hurt his 3-year-old year, correct? Okay. Horses peak honestly at like 5, 4.5, 5, most horses. That's when they're at their absolute best. This could be a horse like that. This could be a horse that, was just not on its game last year, was hurt and pretty well injured too, almost retired, I believe. So let's just give Max Player credit that he might be just a better older horse at this point. So let's not knock it too much because we were on Max Player till he screwed us. And listen, he screwed us good.
That he did.
And but once again, is Mystic Guide that good? I mean,
I thought
think
it was
you have Mystic Guide coming from overseas. You have Happy Saver, who has never lost until Saturday, and Max Player. You say he was hurt. Like, well, he came back. He's ran twice this year and sucked. He's sucked every race he's ever ran.
well, no.
And then he runs in a 6-horse field in the shittiest track I've seen at Belmont all year long.
No, he was
And now you want to say like, oh, maybe he's getting better. No.
I mean, he was undefeated for a while. Then he got injured and he came back not that good. I mean, that's pretty much what he was. And
When was he undefeated?
his first 3 races he won.
No,
right?
he wasn't.
Oh, he wasn't?
No.
Oh, well, he won his first race and he was undefeated.
No, he did not.
Oh, he didn't?
This is a Parks horse, dude. This horse is awful.
Well, he was a good.
He won 2 in a row. That's it. There's only 2 races he ever won
Yeah,
until yesterday.
he was
And then
a
he
prospect.
Lost a bunch more
Well, I mean,
by a lot of lengths to shitty horses.
Well, are you saying that Mystic Guide's that bad?
I think Happy Saver was the better horse in that race. I think you put that on a actual fast track and not the
He ran a 201. That's not
mud
bad.
shit that it was.
In the slop, that's not bad.
That was awful for Belmont too. That was even bad. Like they were running in puddles. Like or not even.
Yeah, but the
puddles.
time
They were
was
running
pretty
in a
good.
big muddy lake.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
time
it
pretty
was-
good.
Aren't you the same person that told me when I said Cafe Pharaoh ran a 134? Yeah, sometimes the slop's fast.
No,
Because
sometimes they get a high
afterwards-
number. They get a high buyers. And
No,
stuff.
I'll go back and I'll show you that text.
Well,
Sometimes
they get a high
the slop is
buyers
fast.
in the slop
So
sometimes.
now we have Maxfield and Max Player in the classic.
A lot of Max.
One of those is going to get dead fucking last.
I don't think Max Field won't be dead last.
Max Player
Yeah.
will be.
No, God no. But those
Well, he came back and he looked.
I
tough
just
coming
hate that
back.
there's this now kind of like this just help. This just goes back to my hatred for Tiz Law. It just helps the narrative now of Tiz Law haven't ever been good. Which is
Yeah,
just
well,
something
I
can
mean-
never wrap my head around.
Let's not take the Suburban. I'd like to see how many Suburban winners went on to win the classic. I mean, Naira
Yeah.
horses in general don't. I mean, those races aren't, usually, whatever it is. The Saratoga races, yeah. But
Max
Saturdays.
Player loses that race 99 out of 100 times. And
He came back though. And you
Yeah.
can't, it wasn't like he stole the race. He came back. I mean, which was pretty impressive. He
He
was
did.
pretty impressive coming back. It wasn't like he just went out to the lead and stole it or like caught a dead horse. He was he ran tougher than he's run before. You got to give him that.
No. No.
I mean, he dueled with Moretti most of the race. Then Moretti
Yeah,
just
and
dropped off.
because Moretti's a fucking great horse. Too.
Well, Moretti's a speed rat.
Yeah. All right. Well, those were our race recaps. But yeah, like I said, we had those 3 win and you're in on this journey to the Breeders' Cup. So let's go on and talk about last week on our show. We had asked everybody to leave in the comments who they would think who would be a good horse racing commissioner in the ideal world and situation. We had a lot of feedback on some of these guys. So I'll just go through.
Some of these people I don't know.
Yeah, there's a few, and I'm not entirely sure. I'll go through a few of them as there was quite a bit. But Johnny V was mentioned, Todd Pletcher, Bob Baffert, Dwayne Lucas, Chad Brown.
Wait, Johnny V?
Johnny V, yes.
As in the jockey?
As in the jockey.
He can't do that. You can't be like a player coach
I'm just saying that's
in
it.
horse racing.
But
Hey,
some of
go
the
back,
names:
start that list over.
Johnny V, Todd Pletcher, Bob Baffert, Dwayne Lucas.
These are okay. So
Well, you
people,
skipped,
this is what people
I'm-
said. Who should be the commissioner?
Yes.
yeah.
Who
We
the,
have Steve
who the
Chris.
fuck in their right mind said Bob Baffert at this point?
Oh, we got a few of them. I will go through the whole list of who
Angel Cordero
name-
Jr.
name that
makes
was
sense.
Yep. Steve Chris, Chad Brown, Mark Patterson, Jerry Brown, Craig Milkowski, Andy Byer, Andy Sterling, Steve Bick, Mick Peterson, Bob Pandolfo, Roman Chappa, and Donald Trump Jr.
Okay, I'm gonna first off, Donald Trump Jr. is awesome. That's a great pick. Whoever said that, shout out. to
Whoever said that, yeah,
Trump
shout
Jr.
out.
That's kind of funny. I will say right off the bat, Johnny V, obviously no. Todd Pletcher, no. You can't have a trainer.
Yeah, throw all the trainers and jockeys out of it.
Dwayne Lucas, nice one because he's retired. Not a bad one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Chad Brown, you can't obviously. Mark Patterson, actually, it
I would
was
be-
Mark Patterson that did that
Yeah,
one. I
he
think.
wrote his own name in.
Mark Patterson would probably be awesome as
He
a
would be
commissioner, but they'd never let him do it.
No, they Craig Milkowski.
Craig Milkowski
Yeah.
was Craig Milkowski put that as well. Craig would be Craig's great, but I think Craig might be too analytical minded to be the commissioner. He might be you might need that straight numbers guy.
Yeah.
Is that a bad thing?
Definitely. I don't know if Craig's a mean enough guy. You kind of gotta have
A little bit of an edge.
have a mean streak in you. I think.
Andy Sterling then.
I no, it's just no. No,
Oh, okay. Then Donald Trump Jr. It is.
it is. It's Bob Penta. I don't know who that is. Roman. I probably should. Yeah. Listen, and okay, so let's talk about it. So those right there, interesting. I'd like to know why and who you guys think and why. I want to know why you guys think these people would be good. So put that out there. I'm going to say who. Honestly, if you gave me 2 people to pick, I'm going to go with 2 people that have been on the show before that no one mentioned. Number 1 is Sarge.
Yes.
I know not everybody, might agree with that, but because the more I work with Sarge, because I do work with him and I see what he does, how much he knows and cares about horses and everything and knows the ins and outs, he'd be really good. And I do think Sarge would be fair and has an edge to him. So I think Sarge. I also think Vic Stauffer. that no
I
one
was
mentioned.
surprised no one mentioned Vic. I
Because-
feel like he would be a great commissioner.
Well, especially since he was a steward before.
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing. I think Vic loves horse racing and is passionate about it. I think he knows enough. And definitely Vic's going to go out there and tell somebody to go fuck themselves if he has to. And I think he'd be good. So those are my 2. What do you guys think?
I really
no.
think Vic, I like I said, was surprised that he wasn't mentioned. I think he would be a great candidate. Mark Patterson. I think he would be great. Yes, it wouldn't fly, but
Mark wouldn't want to do it. So I'm not gonna say.
Mark would
be
want to
like
do
that.
it. I mean, really, top of my list, it would have been Vic.
Well, Vic would be good.
Yeah. And Sarge, I was surprised, not a whole lot of Sarge, but last year on our show, we touted a lot that Sarge would be great for commissioner.
Yeah, and the more, like I said, the more I work with Sarge and I know him because I do work with him and I more see what he does when he works. He really, really knows his stuff. He knows the drugs, the suspensions. He knows like all that legal stuff with horses too. But yeah, AJ, who do you think would be a good commissioner?
Absolutely zero of the people that we've mentioned so far. All those people are awesome horsemen. But no one is going to be the commissioner is going to come from that background. If you were going to do it, to me, it would be, and I'm blanking on his name. He was supposed to be on the show one time. The guy who went to bat against the California Horse Racing Board from Stronach.
Oh, Aiden Butler.
Aiden Butler. It's gonna be one of those more. I mean, look at who they put in charge of, like, the NFL or the MLB. It's all these business people. If you're gonna put somebody in that position, like, we think like, okay, Sarge or Vic, these would be awesome commissioners of the thing, but there's so much more to it than just knowing horses.
Yeah, but
it's going to be somebody in real, and I'm thinking realistically, because
realistically,
you'd have to. Well, that's true, but I'm thinking realistically, if it was going to happen, so like, I'm going to throw all that other shit out, and I think about, okay, so when you look at, you have to have the executives of Churchill and of Stronach and all the people who own the tracks come together and decide this, and they're going to be the one to appoint it. So it's going to be someone like that, and someone who's went to bat for horse racing against state legislature, like Aiden Butler, who has been doing that for as long as he's worked with them. That to me makes a lot more sense than obviously someone like that what we've talked about, who's been like a trainer or an analyst or whoever it may be. That to me makes more sense.
Yeah, but I would say, number one, for the sake of entertainment, nobody cares about the lawyer that's going to be hired, which is never going to happen. But number two, I would say that I do think in horse racing, like, does Aiden Butler know enough about horse racing?
I would think he does.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Compared to a Sarge or a Vic or somebody that, like, I feel like, I think you're on the right track, but I feel like it might be like one of those big time jockey agents that are probably attorneys.
Well, also too, I mean, when you talked about the stewards, like, we got to think there's a 1,000,000,001 stewards out there that we don't even know.
Exactly.
I wouldn't even know their fucking name, that are probably better suited than anybody who's been a trainer before.
Well, exactly. Well, that's why.
Don't give me like everyone, the Johnny V's and the Chad Browns. Like, that's not good.
Well, yeah, it's like playing quarterback and then all of a sudden being like, okay, now you're running 5 teams. Like, no, I just know how to run my offense. I mean, and you might be great at that, but you don't know the business wise of it. Like, Tom Brady's not as smart as Robert Kraft and running the Patriots. I mean, it's just what it is. That's why I thought Vic stuck out, because he's a steward before. I guess it's just people we know. Obviously, I'm sure, like I said, there's some agent out there that's probably,
out of all the ones we've mentioned, I think Vic might be the best. Like, so if you gave me the list that people said that gave us and the ones that then you guys chimed in on, I think Vic would be the closest out of that group. Maybe Donald Trump Jr.
That's not
Still a strong candidate.
Did they give a reason?
That's hilarious.
I did see people did give reasons here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good. Yes, let me hear those.
Well, and one thing I wanted to ask you guys is, what are your thoughts on the numbers guys? Andy Byer, Greg
Jerry
Mikowski,
Brown.
Jerry Brown. What do you think about?
No,
I think that's a different ball game. I think it's
totally different. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get that they know racing and they're very smart, which makes sense. You want somebody who's smart to do it.
Yeah.
And they might be great at it. Like somebody like Craig, like I said, Craig's just, a really nice guy.
Well, I mean, Craig's like put together his own business and shit too with this whole thing.
Yeah, if Craig
and so
wanted
did
to be
Andy,
an
Andy
attorney,
Byer. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I mean, they took what they did and made a business out of it. But I mean, I guess they might be bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to hear these reasons though. Like,
There are quite a bit. So Johnny V, the reasoning behind that was bagged a lot of money. Would be a great person for commissioner because of all of his success.
He's a good face of it. He could be the jockey rep. Like we have the union rep, like the players rep's always a wide receiver or whatever from the NFL. So yeah, I get that there, but that's what he would be.
Todd Pletcher because he's smart and dominant.
No,
means nothing to me.
Can't. I mean, it's a conflict of interest.
Angel Cordero Jr., one of the best jockeys, but age is a factor. You would have to have a backup person in case he gets sick or dies. Same reasoning as for Dwayne Lucas.
Well, you could get killed walking your doggy. Maybe we should have
Okay.
back up.
Well, I mean,
That's not
it's-
bad.
okay,
I get
okay.
an ex-jockey.
Who said you have to have a backup person? Like, okay, well, yeah, like you said, you can get killed doing anything. Like, it's not like they have like Roger Goodell has got like a backup. Like, oh, Casey, like we don't need a vice president
Pretty old,
in
yeah.
case he gets
Yeah.
like assassinated. Like, it's.
Well, Pete is pretty angry, so you never know.
I mean, well, a lot of people hate Pete too, so he might get assassinated. Might be Dave Portnoy.
Yeah. Someone said that they would offer Mark Patterson $3 million a year to take the job.
They would offer it to him
I just said
personally?
I would,
In
yes.
person.
So-
Well, Mark, we need to look into this. my
I
friend.
know.
Well,
Like, come
let's-
on now, Mark.
And we're
Let's
gonna
say-
We
edit
might
that.
need to
We're gonna
take you
edit
off
that
the
part
mountain.
out. We're gonna edit the first part out and say it was $2 million.
2 million, and we take $1 million. Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Mark, we'll get you 1.5.
We'll be the mediators in that. Yeah, Mark. Mark, somebody offered you 1.5 personally
Yeah.
to be the commish.
But I have to cut you the check because it's got to
yeah,
go
but
through.
yeah, but it's going through triple clowns.
Good luck with that one.
Did the person who gave Baffert give a reason?
No, actually.
Of course, I'm
and-
sure that was a joke.
Yeah, I'm sure it is too. That's hilarious.
That was the moderator of Pace Advantage who put that in.
Was it really?
Yes, it was.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a joke. That's awesome. Good for them.
Which I think is Craig. No.
So Craig has the moderator who gave Baffert and then gave himself as personally.
So we got to take Craig out automatically. At this.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Craig, just for doing that, you cannot be taken seriously.
Yeah,
as
you're
commish-
not, you're not
out of the running.
moderating Pace
You're out.
Advantage well enough to run horse racing.
So Donald Trump Jr. or someone similar who is not associated with the sport and has at least 1 foot well inside the door of policy and politics. The
What?
whole idea of centralized
Okay.
Good
and
point.
a commissioner seems to me to be going against the grain of an erosion of trust in national institutions, a fool's errand with a wish list of possible outcomes and probably more unintended consequences.
Shout out to that guy or girl. I don't know. What is it? Who is it? Let's give a shout out to that person.
To them.
Rasta Jenk from Lebanon, Ohio, which is a very Amish place, I believe. Lebanon, isn't it? In Ohio? I don't know. No,
Fuck would I know that?
we kind of did state that. I mean, I get where he's going with Donald Trump Jr. I thought it was just like being a joke, but he's actually kind of giving it the not somebody who has anything in horse racing, but knows policies and politics.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, so you're not
You can wear a
wrong.
hat that says "Make horse racing great again."
Yeah.
Here we go.
You're not super wrong in that train of thought, but it goes down to me when I think about like Pete Rozelle. Pete Rozelle was
Hi, Pete.
no, he was involved. Well, Pete
headband.
Rozelle's Pete Rozelle.
Remember Hi Pete, the headband Jim McMahon wore?
Yeah, but I'm saying like, oh,
I said Hi Pete.
oh, okay. Well, you shouldn't say that because he's dead.
I know. I see. You're too young to remember that.
Because but not everyone's going to remember that. No, but I think someone like that who came from football, and even Al Davis was the commissioner of the AFL at one point in time when they had the merger, and he was. I mean, those are all football. I mean, he's a coach and a GM.
Yeah, well, that was a bit ridiculous.
And I think when you look at something as massive as like the NFL AFL merger, it takes people like that who are going to like bring this shit together. So I think you have to have someone with a background in there, like if you're going to initially start this, because otherwise you're having somebody go in there and do a brand new job with no background in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
That seems a little bit dicey to me.
Well, I mean, it's David Stern for the NBA. I mean, obviously he wasn't.
Well,
around.
look, a lot of commissioners have never worked.
Mostly they're attorneys.
They
right?
come from all a bunch of
accountants, attorneys,
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's why last week I posed the question of would the industry benefit of an outsider coming in for the role?
I don't think it ever does. I think it needs to be somebody involved. I think it's just better if 1 foot in the door, not fully because they'll be slighted, but somebody who knows, like if you said Aiden Butler, but the only thing with that is you'd be a little bit slighted that he's going to go, his tracks are going to get the benefits.
Sway towards more Stronach group.
But, something like that where I don't know Aiden enough to say like maybe he grew up hot walking horses and was a trainer before. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But Yeah, or like I said, I mean, horse racing is more of a shit show than these other sports. Let's face it. So an outsider coming in might not be able to clean up because they might not have a clue. They might go in and be like, Monmouth's
Where do you
doing a
even
great
start?
thing with no whips, and being like, oh, this guy has no clue. So that's the scary part. I mean, all you need as a commissioner is really a referee
Mhm.
to just get everybody on the same page. You must
Well,
be
it's
very
almost
diplomatic.
like it'd be almost like better if you had like the Stroniches and the Churchills of the world as a board, as opposed to
They would be
one
though.
guy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's everything. Like it's the owners in the NFL. There's the board, and then there's the one.
That's
guy.
what I mean. Well, because the commissioner is there to speak and represent on behalf of the 32.
Yeah, they're just kind of a figure.
That's what he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying is like, so if you'd have to set it up to the point where, whoever the commissioner is doesn't have ultimate power. Like that's what we got to realize too, is when we talk about this, the commissioner is not like all powerful. I mean, he does have power, but he doesn't, it has to be, everything has to be voted on by the 32 NFL owners to make that decision.
Yeah, maybe we should
The
have
major
like
ones.
Yeah,
The
maybe
major
we should have like a House of Representatives.
Yeah,
Like,
you'd almost rather have
Kentucky
that.
can send 5 people because it's Kentucky, and you can have Angel Cordero Jr. or whatever on that, and then California can have 4 or 5 people, and then New York and Ira can have
Mhm.
6 people, and all these people we mentioned can be part of that board. Maybe that's what they need, because then you mix it up. Then it's a little easier when you have 50 people, a couple ex-jockeys, a couple track
But
announcers.
that would all be
trainers.
that would all be it's almost like they'd appoint who they'd want there.
Yeah.
And these are the kind of people that we, the ones we've mentioned that would be.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
work. That would work. Like all the people we mentioned could be part of a board.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
could be a pretty weighted
And you
board.
need, you need and the figurehead would be somebody who can speak well and be pretty diplomatic. And
Donald Trump Jr.
there you go.
Make horse racing great again.
Yeah.
There's your board, guys. You're welcome.
Donald Trump Jr.
That wouldn't be like, it's not like MAGA. It'd be like Mahura.
Maha.
Make horse.
Yeah. No, well,
It'd be Mahurga. Mahurga.
we're
Murga.
Murga.
yeah, there we go. There we go. Perfect.
We're gonna be
Murga.
doing a triple clowns hat with a Murga on it.
Murga.
We're gonna rock it. So check that out on Degen Nation. It'll be up.
Yeah.
On there. We're
Sometime.
gonna do a murder
Yeah.
thing. You know what? Tell me somebody in the comments if you think that's a good idea, because I think people will wear
I do too. I'm sure they would.
it. Murga hat.
Merca.
Make horse racing great again.
Yeah.
We're going for it.
These Big Gary will wear one because he'll be forced because we'll send it to him.
Mhm. All right. So that's let's talk about that a little more. Tell us if there's anybody you guys didn't think of, or what you think they should do with the commission thing. We could go on forever about this because it's pretty interesting. And like I said, I mean, maybe if we keep talking about it long enough and everything, maybe we'll take a step forward where they'll at least have some sort of board or universal. Maybe they'll all
Well-
get together and agree on something.
Well, they're trying with the
With the Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Act.
bam, nailed it.
Ryan.
But that's
I got you.
always been there, right?
Yeah, but this is the first time we've had somebody else step in and really say,
Yeah, this is the
we're
first
gonna
time it's
do
really
this.
kind of being implemented on the level that they're trying to do it right now.
Maybe it's because of us.
Yeah, it's obviously because of the Triple
Yeah.
Clown. They said that. I read an article.
Well, we've talked all the time about how the FBI is listening. So
Yeah,
hi again, Agent Smith from the FBI who's watching this, or the NSA.
you're welcome.
now
for
is
the
watching this.
ideas.
And this is the first time. I mean, I don't think there's ever been government influence in there, outside of
Not
just like
as-
gambling regulations.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
besides
like
I
that.
mean, yeah. Besides the gambling regulations, it's pretty loose with the and like
well, it even goes it goes
all
so much
horse racing
further
groups
where
kind of police
owners-
themselves.
owners licenses where you need to be licensed in every state, and some states you need to own a certain percent compared to another percentage. Like
Yeah.
they're not even on the same page with that stuff.
Right.
Where if you own a horse and the horse goes to run in Monmouth and you have a New York license, you should be an owner in New Jersey too. I mean, what the
Well, it's sort of. I mean, that's sort of like boxing. You have to have everywhere you fight, you got to have a license. In
well, that
state.
makes sense. But the manager, you shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? If you're fighting or you're racing, you probably should have to pass their physical and their thing.
Well, you're being
Boxing
responsible
is
for these
much-
animals in different
boxing is the
states.
same boxing is, and that's what the problem with boxing is, because there isn't a national commission. There's people
There's
that
like
can't
7.
fight in Vegas, but they can fight in somewhere else. It's like when the UFC went through that, where you couldn't fight in certain states because it was illegal, where it's like, once again, it's and there's certain states that I know with fighting in MMA where weight discrepancies, say in New York, you can't go into a heavyweight match weighing 210 and your opponent be 250 because it's too much of a weight discrepancy in New York, where if you fought in like Vegas, you can fight as long as you're a heavyweight. You can be 100 pounds more. So they do the same thing with fighting. They can't get their shit together either, where it's like you can fight in a different state. I could fight a 260 guy at 210. I can't do that. I can't do it in New York, but I could do it in Vegas. That makes no sense either. You know, I mean, that's the problem when states run, but that's a gambling thing too.
Mhm.
You know, yeah, that's a safety thing really, where other states are like, no, you can't be 40 pounds more than the other guy or you get cleaned. It's something like that. Don't quote me on it. Anybody listening would be like, no, it's 30 pounds. I don't know exactly what it is, but I do know there's something like that. But yeah,
Which is why you see most of the big fights now happen in Vegas.
yeah, because Vegas is pretty loose.
Well, because all those commissions too, they don't give a shit.
No,
There's like what 7 different boxing commissions. Not 7.
No,
There's quite a few, and they don't care because they define their heavyweight a certain way as opposed to the state.
yeah. It's I have a friend who fought, and he was 51 when he fought, and it was his first fight, and he could only get in California because they wouldn't let him fight at that age somewhere else, being his first fight. They were like, no. So he had to go to California, had to pass all the physicals, but he couldn't fight anywhere else. Couldn't go to a Vegas card. He couldn't go wherever. He had to go to California because they would let him fight at 51.
Just go to what's the
Go to Indian
brawls thing?
reservations are always the easiest. That's why like Mohegan Sun could do those fights
Mhm.
at the UFC where Connecticut wouldn't let it. You ever notice the early UFC fights? A lot of them were at like Indian reservations because it's like it's their own gaming commission.
Well,
like it's their own rules.
just go on YouTube and fight with those backyard brawl people.
Yeah, that's
Just fight with them.
Great idea.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
sanctioning there.
Not
Yeah.
there.
No rules. It's
No.
way easier. To
What street beefs? That's what I'm thinking of. Just go
Yeah.
fight for street beefs.
We're gonna.
I don't care.
We're promoting street beefs now. If you have a problem, go in your backyard. We'll lay some broken bottles down and everything. We don't pass physical. You
Yeah.
sign a waiver, motherfucker. You're done.
Dude, go find
Yeah.
Superhuman. I'm sure he'll fight you.
Superhuman.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would.
Shout out Superhuman who for his 4th of July. He got shot with a Roman candle. It's awesome.
That is great. That is great. I was talking about having Roman candle fights.
We were
That's,
talking about that last night.
when I was a kid. We'd have a wet towel for a shield. Where I grew up is just not normal place.
No, we had Roman candle fights too.
Did you have a wet towel as a shield? And shoot
No.
people in the face.
I think we just had like a whatever sticks and shit we could find to also
Yeah.
fight with.
Use whatever.
You should have
was
it
in
and you
nature.
grow up in backwoods, white
Yeah.
trash towns, everybody.
Yeah, you fight with Roman candles, and apparently, if you're smart, you use a wet towel as a shield.
Yeah, we were a little more advanced.
We did
You
not
know,
have that. No, we
Yeah.
we weren't that. forward.
Connecticut kids. We figured that shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
Why
God.
Ivy League schools are all in New England, by the way, pretty much. That's why.
The idea of a shield didn't even like pop in our heads.
No, just kind of ran, try to hide behind a tree and come back.
All right,
get back at
let's go
them. I
back to
don't know.
horse racing.
Yep. All right.
No, this is way better.
Yeah.
All right, so
Why?
that's it. We're talking about the commission and we went all a little
Yes.
off topic, but we have a lot of stuff coming up. We're going to be doing a lot of things now that we're settled in. We'll be doing some more stuff. We'll have our pick show this week. We'll have some other stuff coming out and Del Mar coming up. We're also doing the Del Mar Survivor Pool.
Del Mar
And
Survivor Pool
Saratoga.
and Saratoga Survivor.
She can
Survivor
Sarah
Pool,
said
so-
she'll do it. So
You heard it here first. So we will be coming out with all the rules and everything and how to get signed up for that later this week.
How do I
So-
sign up?
you don't.
Oh, shit.
Um,
No, we
involved.
sign. We
No.
all sign. up.
yeah, we
put
all
out
play
our picks
too.
to make sure we're
It's
not
fun.
cheating.
We did it last year. Shout out to Razor who took the belt for winning the Saratoga Survivor Pool.
Rules are going to change this year, though. We're not going. We're going to get rid of the chalk
Yes.
on a lot of them. So
Uh,
I'm going to make it a
so-
little harder for
Stay
everybody.
tuned and make sure you follow us on Twitter and all social media so you can be in the know of when those rules come out. But from the Triple Clowns at Degen Nation, make sure you hit that subscribe and like button. Make sure you check us out on social media as well as Degen Nation. They do a lot of stuff on Twitter. Shout out to the guys in a successful party this weekend at Monmouth. So I hope you guys had a chance to join them there at the track. They'll be doing another one. Fingers crossed. We're hopefully doing one for Del Mar. We will see. We will obviously keep everybody posted on what's going on. But from us at the Triple Clowns, good luck and see you later.